Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to virtual back to school week. I am Miss Kirsch, and I am just going to briefly talk a little bit about myself and about the class, which is Sophomore English. So a little bit about me. This is my 7th year at Franklin. I teach journalism in addition to English. I'm passionate about a lot of things. A big one is my cat, Minnie, of which I've included an adorable photo. Your students have to hear about her like on a really regular basis. So that's me. That's my cat. A little bit about the class. So sophomore English, the course deals a lot with issues of justice and power. We look at race, we look at gender, we look at oppression, resistance, and we really do that through a variety of different kinds of texts. The texts this year will be fewer than they would be if we were in class together for a full year. But these are some examples of some of the ones that I plan to use this year. So it's a good mix of both fiction and nonfiction. Some articles, we've got some videos, we've got some short stories, and then really culminating in that novel, Exit West. That'll kind of be our final piece. Essential standards. So the English, one of them is looking at central ideas, and we'll do that for both literature and informational text. One is citing and analyzing textual evidence, and we'll do that for both as well. And then one is a writing standard. And so the piece that we'll work towards that standard is our final essay for the class, which will be about Exit West. And we will also do some paragraph work throughout the semester. We also have identified some social justice standards from the organization Teaching for Tolerance around identity, justice, action, and diversity as other priorities for sophomores this year in terms of cultivating students who are racially literate and self-aware and empathetic. And so these are our goals for the year in this class. Sorry, you can hear the animals. So in terms of how to access class, we use a Google Meet link for this class. It's posted on our Canvas homepage. The live class can include discussion. It might be writing. I might be talking a lot. We might be watching videos together. We watched a TED Talk together today. We might be reading together. I also often release them early to work on whatever the assignment is. And some students might choose to do that on their own, or they might choose to stay in the Meet and work with access to me. Asynchronous time. I just recommend that students work on any English work that has been assigned in class that hasn't been turned in. I usually give them, depending on the assignment, I often will give them about a week to complete work. And so just the expectation is that if anything for English isn't done, that's what they can be working on during asynchronous time. I ask that students do text me through the Remind app so that I can mark them present during asynchronous time, and they are welcome but not required to attend my tutorial. And there is a link to that as well as my tutorial schedule on our Canvas homepage. These are our class norms. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but what we have is a culmination of the agreements for having difficult conversations or heavy conversations about race and oppression, and then some norms that I came up with and some norms that students came up with. So this was a group effort, and these have been agreed upon by our class. The syllabus is posted on Canvas, so students can access it anytime. Feel free to ask your student to look at it. You will be able to access it through the Franklin website as well. Grading. So I have gone through quite a professional journey around my beliefs about grading. I was the kind of student who really, really wanted an A, and a lot of my a lot of my self-worth came from having that validation, that academic validation, in ways that I think actually were pretty harmful to me. And so that, combined with just where we are in the world right now, has kind of led me to this statement. And I won't read the whole thing out loud to you, but essentially I would really like to work to decenter letter grades and focus more heavily on feedback. I don't think that grades are necessarily the most effective tool for me to communicate with students about what their strengths and areas of growth are, because I think we tend to just get really distracted by the grade itself. And so what I'm choosing to do this year is not anything that I've done before, but essentially grades are going to be given mostly based on completion. And so I will it's going to be A or incomplete. There will not be an in between. So in order to get an A, students need to do about 3/4 of the work, and the definition of the work is flexible and it can include all different kinds of engagement. And they need to make sure that they do all summative assignments. An A with honors, we have not yet figured out our honors requirements for this year, but it will be whatever you have to do for an A plus whatever the honors requirement is, and I will communicate with students and parents about that. An incomplete just means that you didn't do enough to get the A grade, but that you can work with me to recover credit. I will be transparent and say that this is a flawed system. I think that all grading systems are flawed systems. So it does not measure a student's skills in English. So this year, if you get an A in this class, that does not represent proficiency in English. It essentially measures the degree to which you engaged in classwork. And our ability to do that is really impacted by everything that's happening around us. So ultimately, I am going to be using my professional judgment to make individualized decisions about student grades. And so technically, my grading policy right now is whatever individual grading policy gives each specific student the highest grade. That is the grading policy that I will be using. And feel free to reach out if you have questions about that. Just a quick note that we will be exploring some mature content in this class. I believe in the academic value. I believe in the academic value of doing that, and I think it's really important. And I am going to do my best to make sure that we are handling that in a responsible and scaffolded way. But if you are concerned, please do feel free to email me if you have any questions. And that is all I have for you. So my email address is right here. If you would like to be connected to the class Remind, it just means that you will get announcements that I send out to the class, like reminders about assignments and things like that. And if any students have not yet joined the class Remind, please ask them to do so. All you have to do is send a text to that number, and then this is what you would type into the text box, that at Kirsch SO. It's short for Kirsch Sophomores. It just cuts off. So students need to sign up for that if they have a cell phone and they're able to. Parents are welcome to if you would like to know what's going on. That is all I have for you. Thank you so much for coming, and I look forward to talking with you and working with your students this year.